Welcome back to Just Hustle Podcast. We don't know who you are, so let me get into that, all right?
Let's do it.
All right, now, guys, thank you very much for watching the Teo Richie episode. Really appreciate everyone that tuned in. A lot of questions and stuff from there, so a lot of people entertained. They love it. So we're back here now. It's all about real talk, real business, no shit. There's no filters here. We've got some serious minds in the building today, and we're going to get on who they are. Marketing agency owners who have helped brands grow, go viral, and create emotional connections with audiences. All right, and who do we have here? We have Dami. Just a little quick intro, who you are, yalla.
Sure, man. So Dami Okedara, 26 years old. I run a few businesses. My main company is Clientele Boosters. It's a marketing group that's been operating for 7 years across not just Australia, but also Asia Pacific and internationally.
Wow.
And I'm also an owner of South Central. Bit about me.
Awesome. And
my name's, which one to look at? My name's Pranav.
any camera that you want. Look at the audience.
All right.
They're listening, don't worry.
So my name is Pranav, and I also run a marketing agency. I also run an info business, so I sell courses. So you can use the code in the description for 30% off.
Oh, big magic.
I'm just kidding,
You get a free t-shirt as well.
But I'm recently been trading meme coins, and that's been really fun. And that's about it, man. Just agency.
Awesome. And Sahil, what are you doing here? Who are you?
Bro, I don't know. I was kind of on my way to Macca's. I just kind of rocked up, eh?
Mr. Humble, eh?
My name is Sahil. You all can call me Naami as well. I'm also an agency owner for the last 4 years, 22 years old. We're working with a lot of hospitality and corporate-based businesses. And I think my unique outtake on marketing is not only to create content that looks absolutely impeccable, but how does that content transform viewers into actual money? Because that's what matters at the end of the day, You can get 1 million views. If it's not making you any money, what's the point?
Facts. So guys, this episode is all for the creatives, people who want to build a brand. So guys, we're going to get into it right now. The first topic, before we do that, share, like, we're on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Just Hustle Podcast. So the first segment I want to go into, Dami and boys, is creative versus business owner. All right. So most people think being creative is enough. Is it? Some point, every creative has to decide: do I want to make art? Do I want to work for this person that I'm getting a pay rise every year for $1 or something, or do I want to build an empire? Let's talk about that first. How do you go from, being an employee working for somebody, being in that mindset, to going to owning your own business?
I think we all have really different journeys. I worked multiple corporate jobs. I was a sales assistant at YD. I've done tech sales. I've been an SDR at agencies, but I was fired. Within the first 2 to 4 weeks. I've been a BDM at agencies. I've worked in admin as well for healthcare. I've done probably 20 or 30 different roles that are somewhat related to sales. I've done door-to-door, etc. I've done multi-level marketing, which people think of pyramid schemes. I've done multiple business models. And for me, what I learned was, I think the best way to create a solid business is to work for someone that actually has the business that you want to build. If you read Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, The Apprentice is one of the most important chapters, because you can learn from the master. But where a lot of people, can I swear? Where a lot of people fuck up is they then try to, and this is one of the laws you don't want to break, you never want to outshine the master. Instead of rule one. This guy knows ball, man. This guy knows ball. Because if you outshine the master, then you get fired, or you actually don't learn all of the master's skills. So what does outshine the master mean, and how does it start to starting your own business? A lot of people, when they're in a corporate company for 4, 5, 10 years, they'll be like, I want the CEO's job. But what you really want is proximity to the CEO, so you can learn how they make decisions. So when you now want to leave that job, you still have that relationship while you're building your own empire, and they don't look at you as a direct threat, but rather as someone that they can say, you know what, I helped build this person up. Because they also want to have their own case studies, right? So yeah, I think working for someone that's built what you want is the most efficient way to go from employee to starting your own business. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, so taking it all in and learning as much as you can from somebody before you actually take that leap into owning your own business.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sahil, what do you think?
I love that. And you know what? I had mentored a couple people in the past and I told them exactly that, you know. My journey was very different from yours, exactly as you said, right? You worked corporate, man. I was working in factories waking up 5 a.m.
I love it.
I swear to God, don't work in factory, yo. It is so bad.
No, factory work is shit.
It is completely outrageous, but that's what pushed me to start, you know? If I never did those hard 5 a.m. wake ups again and again and again, building mattresses over and over and over again, I'd be like, I wasn't content. And it was like something had to change, and that's what made me change, right? Going from that, I didn't have a mentor. So going from that to starting your own business, 0 to 100 so quick.
Yep.
You have no idea what you're doing. You don't have any direction. You just trial, fail. So like, if you do want to start your own business, go find someone that's already doing what you're doing and just be like, hey man, I'm gonna work for free. Just teach me everything you know. That's it.
Yeah, work for free is a good idea. I think a lot of people, especially in our age range, really struggle with the ego death of working for free.
Yeah, no, Dami, I have to really point out that in our industry, a lot of people, they have an ego, man, about working for free, yeah? They're like, well, I'm not going to do this for free. Why would I do that? It's wasted time. I wouldn't do this for free. A plumber wouldn't do it for free. But our industry is different to a plumber, right? We're on a different wavelength than them. We have to do a lot of free stuff to get to the big stuff, you know? Let's just take acting, for example. Do you know how many free jobs they had to do, or shows and this and that, just to make it to Hollywood? You know, look, people say, oh, look, you know, they make what, $4 million for like one movie or something, whatever it is. But if you look at it over time, let's just say 16 years of acting, how much money, you know, you could have made in that time that they did it for free, right? And people like, they're like, oh no, I wouldn't do that for free, I wouldn't. But you know how much you're learning, you know how much you're taking in, and you'll be making that back later on in a different way. But they don't see that. People see just for the now, they don't see it for the potential. Does that make sense?
Makes a ton of sense.
You know, and I think people just need to get out of that egotistic thing of, well, I'm not going to do this for free. Why would I do it for free? Well, weigh up your options. Be like, well, why am I doing this for free? Because this, and that is where I'm going to get out of it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%. And you need case studies. Like even me, like we've served, at least in my career, I probably served nearly 1,000 clients over the last 7 years.
Damn.
But like the first, up till I'm 26 right now, till 22, 23, this wasn't majority, but I would still say 10% of my clients, like I was doing some version of some sort of free service for them. And that was only 3 or 4 years ago. I'd already spent 4 years in the agency space. There was a tour for a celebrity that a lot of people watching will know that we made over $120,000 in ticket sales. And we literally, my company literally got paid $0 for it. We generated them over 100 grand in ticket sales, $0. A well-known celebrity that you guys fuck with. They did a tour in Australia in 2022. Right?
Can we have a name drop?
I can't name drop, but I'm just saying these things happen.
Why? I'll blimp it out.
Nah, it's all good.
He loves pressure.
Oh wait, we'll bleep it out?
Yeah. I don't know.
I have no idea what that is actually.
Oh, okay, shit. Man. Okay, then no one knows that. But it happens, and you have to be able to bite that. And that gave me permission later that year to then do a big event for Paraisio and Turak, which was the biggest New Year's Eve event in 2022, and that crushed it. The Love Machine guys were involved. Yeah, like that was a great event. So
Rest in peace, Love Machine.
Rest in peace, Love Machine, man. And
Great.
another 7 venues in Melbourne.
Great nights and great times there.
He's smiling, bro. He's got stories he can't reveal on camera.
I've never been to Love.
Oh, I'll reveal on camera. It's fine. I love the drama. We love that.
Go on, give us one juicy story, just one.
Put yourself on the spot. Put yourself on the spot.
Oh, yeah, but if I can't remember them, does it count? Because that's the best stories. When you can't remember that night, that's the best.
I went hard.
Meta glasses, bro.
Meta glasses?
Just wear them on blackout, see
So
what
you can
happens.
track what happens, yeah.
Do they work?
Oh, dude,
They're
I
good?
just got these Meta glasses maybe a week ago, man. It's dangerous. You know why?
Uh-huh.
Because they go straight to your phone. I have probably shot over 500 videos in the last week.
Shit, but that's good for content, bro. Fuck,
Much content. BTS has just never been easier. Yo, Meta sponsored this podcast, obviously, like, what are you doing? But guys, get some Meta glasses, man.
Okay, you heard it from the best, man.
Genuinely.
I think we need some.
There you go.
And then everyone's wearing Meta glasses.
How was your journey when it came into entrepreneurship?
This is very different from you guys, man. Holy shit. Like, I had the completely different mindset. Mine was like, I'm gonna get paid. So like my whole mindset was like, get the bag. Yeah, just get the bag. Because I had to start my agency because I got fired.
Yep.
And I was moving apartments. So I needed to show proof of income in order to get rental. So right before I was moving, I got fired. So I still remember this day. I was at university because at this time I was like practically homeless as well, man.
I remember we went for a walk.
Yeah, holy shit,
You were
bro.
freaking out,
Yeah, bro. I was like, I was practically homeless at that point, man. So, yeah, man. So I used to work out at university. So I already finished university, but luckily, like, I had my university card and I could go into the rooms and just work. I've slept in that fucking room, bro. So, yeah, man. So I was just sitting there in front of my computer, trying to figure out, like, going on my phone and trying to figure out how much money I have left in my bank account, trying to see if I could fucking, because you have to pay bond and then you also have to pay rent.
First month
bond.
Yeah, bonds are cop out. I hate that.
Bro, it is, man.
Beautiful finesse.
It is a finesse.
I think it makes sense. It makes sense.
There's no sense in bonds.
There's no sense in bonds.
I'll kick. No.
It's safety. It's safety. But yeah, man. Like I had no choice. So for me, it's like within a week I have to make money, or like I'm fucked.
How'd you go on that first week? Did you end up getting the bag?
Yeah, I did actually.
Oh,
The
in a week?
First day.
What?
First day. Bro.
That's practically unheard of, man.
I just so I'll give you some background as well. So I've been working in call centers. So I was doing cold calling. I was doing sales for like 2 years.
I worked there too.
Call centers.
I'll tell you my story after you.
Fucking
But
brutal, bro.
Yeah.
And I was selling like Accor memberships, right? And it was ass, bro, because the product that nobody really needed.
I was it telemarketing?
Yeah, telemarketing.
Oh no, I'll
call
kill
center,
myself.
bro.
That shit makes you a soldier.
Bro,
That does, yeah.
You don't understand.
Getting hung up on.
Yeah, that was my first
Fuck
job.
off.
That was my first job, bro.
Dude.
That's your first job.
First job, telemarketer, bro. And
How long did you last?
the first place, I lasted like 3 months. Second place,
Solid
I lasted like 8 months. But
Same thing, telemarketing.
telemarketing, but different. Then I moved to something that actually I felt good selling. Like the first thing I was selling, bro, like I was selling something that I know that they don't need, and like I know that it's gonna provide no value to them, but I just want that bag. So after 3 months of doing that, I felt
He wants that bag. He wants it bad.
Yeah, bro. I know. I just felt disgusting, bro. Like after like 3 months, I was like, I'm lying to people, bro. Anyways, so yeah, I had that background. So what I did was literally go on to Google Maps. I was like, I need to make money today. I don't know how to do social media marketing. I don't know how to do shit. I just need to pitch something and just get some money in my account ASAP. So yeah, just went to Google Maps, called like 100 or 200 businesses that day, and then landed like 2 clients, like within that week. So, and then churned them immediately. I didn't know how to fucking deliver, but like immediately churned them, man. I got like the first month.
Get the Stripe notification, and then figure it out.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the game.
And then I was watching YouTube videos, man, like how to do Iman Gadzi.
Yeah, the
Fucking
Iman
Iman.
Gadzi course, bro. No.
So, with the call center, I got ADHD. So working in a call center wasn't good for me because I was falling asleep on the phone. I was bored, but I was wondering, like I kept asking myself, why am I falling asleep on the phone? I thought there was something wrong with my health, right? But I eat a lot. I eat a lot of iron. My iron's great, blah, blah, blah. It's because I was so bored, right? And I'm a creative, so we always have to keep moving, this and that. You're lucky I'm sitting here right now. No, but it's good. Yeah, it's obviously I enjoy it and it's my passion. Now, Dami, do you reckon the numbers matter?
Do I reckon the numbers matter? Like in business, or is that just for me to interpret?
In business. So, like in business terms, does the numbers matter?
Numbers are nearly, apart from ethics, numbers are nearly everything in business.
And why?
It's the simplest way to quantify your effort. So
But is it a legit statistic of your effort?
I think it is the ultimate statistic. So for example,
I love that word, ultimate. Continue.
It's so
Powerful, bro.
So like if I spend 10 hours, let's make it bigger. If I say I do 100-hour work weeks, because we've all done 80 to 100 hours before. and you're like, I'm working so hard, and you're posting it, and you're like sweating, and you hit the gym, and you do all this work, but nothing changes. Oftentimes there's an inaccuracy in your numbers. Like you're spending too much time on Facebook, but not actually reaching out to people. Too much time on the phone, finding numbers, but not actually calling people. You're making a bunch of calls, but no one's picking up the phone. But if you focus on the objective metric of, I want to talk to 50 decision makers every day, 7 days a week, that's 350, let's make it 300. 300 people times 4 weeks, that's 1,200 decision makers a month.
80-20.
If you convert, there you go, 80% Pareto principle. If you convert just 10% of that amount of people, that's 12 new clients. So I think numbers are the ultimate imperative.
Needle moving metrics, man.
Yep.
Like so much, it's efficiency, you know, proficiency and efficiency.
But you
At the end of the
stare
day.
at the numbers.
What do you mean by stare?
So
do I just
like-
look at them?
Do you obsess with it?
Yeah.
I think you have to, especially at the start. And it feels uncomfortable because then this is why, especially like a lot of, there's various studies that show if you've made, especially under 25, under 35, there's another bracket, but if you've made like under $1 million under 25, there's usually some level of extreme trauma response or mental illness, some level. Because you have to become so number obsessed that you kind of become a bit devoid of emotion to a bit of, like to some extent, right? And it's not like it's not in you, it's just you spend so many hours every week looking at how can I optimize this number? And a number isn't a feeling, right? So it's a proxy.
I'm feeling this right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is good. This is good. Yes.
So I think you have to be obsessive with the numbers, but then ultimately what happens is, and this is where it gets exciting, and that's where business becomes more creative, because business is both art and science. The science is the number part. And once you get to a certain level of science and the machine is working, and you know, if you put in $1, like with his ads, you can get one client out of it. If you put $100, you're getting something out of it. Once the numbers are working, the art becomes influencing the culture of the people. So the character of the leader influences the culture of the people, right? So what that means is once you say you have even 20 staff, whether it's contractors or staff, now it's not so much about the numbers, because you know the numbers, it's more, am I making this place feel like a fun environment where people want to show up? And then that creates what's called like an inverse effect, because now you kind of almost add like a magic to the numbers, and the numbers just start quantifying. So what happens is initially you have to do 1 + 1 = 2. But to get like an exponential scale, which will get you to like the 500,000 a year or the million or millions, and I haven't done more than millions. So like maybe at 10 million, I can say something else, right? But to even get to the millions, what happens is to go from 500,000 to 1 million, you have to you can't just number it. It has to be a culture of people that feel the same emotion as you. Because then emotions now outdo the numbers. So for example, how do you get people to go to war? Making this slightly political. You have to give them a cause that's greater than just them. For the sake of Australia, for the American dream. And then people buy into that, and you can get hundreds of people to die for something.
Thanks.
But if I just say, if you do this, you're gonna help this neighborhood of 100 people be safe. I'll just move neighborhoods.
There's no emotional connection.
Spot on.
And you need the emotional connection there, right?
Correct. So it starts as science, and then it becomes an art.
You know, like just to add something in there as well, I think in my opinion, as soon as I started tracking metrics for my agency, that's when like my agency boomed. Like I know exactly how much money I need to put into my ads to get an X amount of qualified leads that show up to my call. And I know my exact close rate. So I know exactly so if there was like a huge control board, like, you know, with music, you know how there's like DJ boards and shit like that, I know exactly what to turn up in order to make more money. So, but sometimes the hardest part with numbers is you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not as good as I thought I was. Ooh. That is the fucking hardest shit hardest pill to swallow. Yep. So I did and I'm
Explain that.
Yeah, let me, bro, like this, it's really annoying for me, bro, because like, I'm a very confident guy. Like I'm overtly confident, and my biggest problem is the story of Icarus, right? I always fly too high, wings get burned, fall back down. That's been my story. I know that's my biggest vice. So me having to look at myself in the mirror and be like, look, bro, you ain't as good as you think. That's like a punch to the fucking gut, bro, you know? Yep. And the biggest punch to the gut I got recently was, I was like, I want to make more money with my agency, you know? Like, let me get more callers, let me get more, let me run more ads, let me increase the number of creatives, you know? Let me do more automation so more people show up on the calls. But the reason I wasn't making money was because I was only closing 15% of the calls. So I had to just look at myself in the mirror and be like, you're not good at closing, bro. You're just not good at closing. And that was the biggest pill to swallow.
Does that humble you?
Like crazy. I mean, I was like sad for a few days, bro. I was like, damn. Not a few days, like a few minutes, but like.
Fucking psychopath.
A lot of people have been calling me psychopath lately, bro. You know?
Probably a good thing.
You know, but the thing is, like, I determined psychopath is someone who would intentionally harm someone, and I wouldn't. So I think I'm more sociopathic.
Okay.
Define sociopath.
Tendencies. I don't know, like, the more and more into business I get, the less emotional I become.
Interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
I've had to
Very
let go of
interesting.
team members even when I didn't want to, but I just had to. Like, there was a lady, she was like pregnant. Yeah, bro, this was so hard to do, man. This was so hard to do, bro.
Crazy.
I had to let go of her because it was either I let go of her or I can't pay rent. So it's like, and she wasn't performing, you know, and like it was a hard fucking pill to swallow, but I had to make so many decisions like that. Or like recently I had to let go of a client and she's like, I'm like $100,000 in debt. I can't pay you anymore. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I can't work for free. And I had to do that because for each client I bring on, I have to bring on team members.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a huge loss for my business. So yeah, back to the numbers thing. Numbers just give you like true raw reality, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, bro, you're not good at closing. And I was like, fuck. And closing is hard, bro. Like closing is hard, especially high ticket sales, because like what I do is high ticket, meaning I try to do PIFs, like pay in fulls. I basically try to get people online to send me like $8,000, right? For 3 months, online. And it's really hard to do, man, right? And it's a very emotional sell right at the end. And there's a lot of NLP involved. There's a lot of them like selling themselves. But at the end, when the objections come in, that's when the heart starts racing, bro. That's when like, that's when you start feeling alive, you know? The very uncomfortable feeling. And that's when I realized that, yeah, I'm shit at closing. I can't handle objections. I need to get better. So then I just started watching videos and I actually started watching Dami's closing videos.
Oh, okay.
He's a fucking killer closer.
I'm just a bad.
No, he's a killer closer. Like he's humble, whatever, but he's a killer closer, bro. Actually, Dami was the one who actually told me that, you know, you might not be as good at, you know, good closing as you think you are. And I was like, that would have hurt me if I hadn't come to the realization myself, you know, like before. But yeah, like then my close rate got better. And I was only able to like see all of this because I had all the data. You know, I had all the exact metrics, you know, so that's why I just wanted to add it in there, bro. I think numbers are very, very important. They give you the ultimate reality.
It's raw, man.
Got a bit of a question for you then, okay? This is gonna transform into a bit of a mindset question. You can get obsessive over numbers. At what point does that start to affect your happiness?
Dude, I don't think I've been like truly happy in a long time, bro.
Really?
Wait, you haven't?
I haven't. Like, for real, man. Like, to me, happiness doesn't matter anymore, bro. I don't care.
He's like Cliff.
Wait, is that a clip?
He's thinking Cliff.
Bro, it's so wild because I get messages from people like, they're like, hey man, how's your mental health, blah, blah, blah. Like, I actually got a message a few days ago from this guy, like checking in on my mental health. And I literally told him, I'm like, I don't care about my mental health.
We got some therapists. We can help you if you
I don't
need.
want it.
Okay.
I just want
30% off, all right?
I don't want help. Like, yeah, this is the thing. Like,
Use my code.
Yeah, but for me, it's just. But for me, it's just the bag. That's it, man. Like, because I know for a fact that I sacrificed happiness for 5 years, 10 years maybe, and then I'm able to give my family, my loved ones, the life that they deserve, bro. So like, I don't really care. Like, I was happy last night. I got lit, danced for.
There you go. That's a plus.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I got lit.
I was shouting out people at the bar, eh?
Yeah, bro.
Baller.
Yeah.
But I think as you said, I know you're obsessed with the bag and stuff, but I think there has to be some level of happiness, regardless of if it's huge, big, small, whatever. Like you said, you got lit last night. You were happy. It has to be, because that will affect your work ethic.
I think that's a great point, Andy. I think it depends on what the person's. So then there's the conscious objective, and then there's the primal objective, right? So a lot of us objectively are like, you know what, we want to make money for status or for a relationship or for, you know, friends or for freedom. Like that's a lot of that is like above the shoulder. Like logically, this makes sense. But primally, how Pranav might be driven primarily might be different to how you're driven primarily. So what I mean by that is for me, like I am driven not by, like me and Pranav were talking about like our minimum freedom numbers, like how much money per month or per year, or do we be like, you know, we'd sell our businesses or like, this is enough, right? For me, a lot of people, I'll start Pranav, a lot of people probably think my numbers like, from the feedback I get, like 1 billion or like half, or like hundreds of millions. And if it's by God's grace, I'll get there. But like my freedom number, when I went into ChatGPT years ago and I was like, how much does it cost to live this life every single day? It's $1 million a month profit. That's like, and that's a shit ton of money. I don't know why, that's not trying to make that sound small, but that's like a lot less than probably objectively what would be perceived. Why do I mention that? When it comes to happiness, there is a certain level of pain tolerance at every level of growth because like Pranav said, you have to look at yourself and be like, where am I deficient? Where am I deficient? It's funny he mentioned closing. I appreciate his compliment, but for me right now, my company's biggest issue is we know we can close a shit ton of deals, but we're not closing enough for us to have another like 20%, 30% growth month. We haven't plateaued, but we've grown by just 5 or 10% or 15% every month in the last 3 months. Whereas last year, what took us to our first million was every month, it was like 20%, 20%, 20%. So what happens is with business, when you're growing, it's stressful. Doesn't mean you're not happy, but it's stressful. And when you're losing revenue, it's also stressful. So it's not that you're depressed, you're just not super happy either. So business in and of itself is pressure. That's why the happiness index, it's a bit hard to quantify. There's moments of happiness, but I think in particular as man, if you're objectively just going after happiness, I don't think that's a good proxy because then you're going after moments instead of longevity. I'm going after feeling like I'm actually providing value to people, like I'm being impactful. When we did Kosa yesterday, I didn't have to be on the show to feel like this feels good. Was I happy that people were I had a great time, but I'm also like thinking there's a venue that's going to kick us out at X time. There's a security guard. We're doing a highly controversial political episode and 4 Instagram accounts have been taken down, right? So certain staff are at risk. That's why I get everyone to sign things. Am I happy while doing it? Yeah, but I'm thinking objectively what needs to get done. I'm purposeful. So I don't think focusing on happiness is actually very healthy, in my opinion, if you're a business person.
Well, that's exactly clear, man. It's like, what is the goal? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, which is you can be in this game of business just to play the game of business. Take homos, you know.
Dami,
he doesn't need to be happy to take business done.
Do you think that, you know, in business, right, say you've got 20 employees, right? You think that's going to be profitable if you've got 20 depressed employees?
Well, no.
Wow, that's a good question.
And that's a great question, which is why, again, though, this is where sometimes, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
So then why does it matter? Why doesn't happiness matter? Why does it?
I didn't say it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm saying that I don't think it should be the focus.
As a business owner.
Okay, good. Yeah, the focus.
I
Okay,
think it should be
yeah.
the focus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because you're not rewarded. If I'm
Good way of
super,
staging it. I like that. Yeah, the focus.
It's just like if I'm super happy to my staff, but the company makes no revenue. Well, now they're sad. Like it didn't really change anything. But if I'm like, I've had best friends die, and like I'm not to make it grim.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just like, but the next day, I'm still like on the temple, like guys, like I'm gonna wear glasses. I'm sad. Like no, I'm still gonna do the call, and we're still gonna close deals that day.
Thanks.
So like it doesn't change, and that makes them happy because they get paid. So it's like it's not my job to be happy or sad. It's my job to actually get them to feel reward, and reward can temporarily feel happy until you want the reward again. And again, and again, and it's a mousetrap, which is why I get your question. When is enough? That's why you have to know what your primal objective
So
is.
it's all about balance.
Well, it's about what you're driven by. My objective is freedom. I know objectively $1 million a month profit will get me to most of what I want to do day to day in my life. For some person, it might be 50K a year. For another, it might be $5 a day. Depends on what country you're in. 1,000 Australian dollars in Bali, you're damn near a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So like you have to find out what you're driven by primarily and then focus on that. For some people, it might be mating, right? Like one of my, not mentors, but I paid a guru that's actually getting hit right now by the authorities legally. I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
And like, he's like not in a relationship, but for him, he likes to like meet new people in different countries. And then I've got another mentor. He's been married for like 20 years. For him, his kids is the focus, but he has to make money for the kids. So that he wants to make a lot of money because he has a lot of kids. But the other mentor, for him, he just wants to be able to travel and meet Eastern European baddies and then fly to South America and post up and fucking, you know, and that's him. So there's different drivers, but they both make hundreds of millions of dollars.
There is, man. Like,
You know?
You've got, let's just say, traffic controlling, for instance, right? It pays good money, right? It does. But it is boring as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do it, right? And people just like to me, you stand there, you hold the pole for 8 hours. It's nothing. We're usually on our phones. I don't give a shit. I don't want that. Do you know how slow my days? Do you know how slow my day's gonna go if I was doing that? Compared to, say, a job I was getting less money, but I was more happier with, right? And that's where I go with happiness. It's like different people have different outlooks.
What makes you happy?
Oh mate, there's a million things.
What are the top 3 things? And when I say happy, I'm talking about when there's no one around. What's something that you're like, this really brings me joy? No one is around you. No one is judging you.
Good question.
A lot of people don't take the time to think about that. I know for you it's gambling. Fucking DJ.
I'm supposed to put them on the spot. When no one's around. I mean, what makes me happy anyway in general is seeing other people happy.
Wow. Why does that make you happy?
I don't know. It's just a good feeling. You know what I mean? To see everyone else doing well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Probably because I know what it's like not to feel good.
Bingo. So you're running away from that. I try to find a way to attach money to running away as far from that as possible.
All right, give me an example.
Exactly. So okay, I'll give you a really easy example. When you felt ostracized, was that like in high school, primary school? Was that at a club? Maybe.
Yeah, this would probably be in school.
Okay, how old are you?
I don't know, probably year 7.
Yes. Okay, so high school, start of high school.
Yeah.
Okay, were you in the popular crowd or unpopular crowd?
No. So
Or nerdy crowd? Or
basically doing acting, but in the unpopular crowd.
Okay, cool. And how did that feel?
This is real shit.
Real, honestly. We're men, we can be honest, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it felt shit.
Yeah.
The reason I was outcasted because I was different.
Yes.
Everyone else was the same. All right. And these days I feel like if you're different, you're more accepted. It's more accepted.
Yes.
But then it wasn't
Back
like
then,
that.
yes.
If you were doing let's just say acting or, art, like painting, we were all outcasted. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I did go to a private school. There was a lot of rich kids,
Yep.
right? So, on the weekends, these guys would be out with their dads, jet skiing and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. We'd be learning lines, rehearsing, or doing whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Stuff like that in the studio stuff. But it wasn't seen as popular.
And that made you feel rejected.
Because they had their own, what's the word for it?
Circle, click.
Yeah, their own clique, their own thing, yeah?
Yeah. What's the opposite of rejected?
Exception.
Okay.
Accepted.
Accepted.
Yeah.
What do you do these days? You do promotions, photography, videography at events. What does events give you because you're in the mix?
What does it give me?
What does it give you? You being a videographer, what does that allow you to do? Let's just say when I'm at...
It allows me...
When I'm at Bar Bambi and I need to get in, I'm like, hey, can you or Candy hit me up? Why? Because you're already accepted. I'm the one that has to pay. You can just walk in. How does that make you feel?
Good.
Yes, right? Because you're fulfilling what we realize, especially with entrepreneurs, a lot of what we do that actually makes us successful. And I know that you're building your business now, but it's usually the response that is what we were trying to do when we were younger. So for example, you were talking about year 7. I was fat in year 7. I used to cry in bathrooms when I was 12. Yes.
I can't imagine you fat.
I know. Yes, be a chubby nigga. Yeah. I also went from a public school to a private school. I was ostracized. I loved drama. I loved The Cosby Show. I loved Will Smith. I used to play Jonas Brothers songs.
How good is it? How good was it?
It went dumb, bro. I used to do monologues, right? And then I realized, fuck, I'm not accepted. This is too unique for them. Just be good at basketball only, bro. You're black. Make that make sense. And then I lost a ton of weight. I become nearly borderline anorexic in 12 months, right? That was my response. So basketball was my short-term bridge to be accepted. But now when it talks about feeling accepted, things like Kwasa, I've been accepted in all of Australia for the last 7 years because of what I do. But that's why I'm saying getting accepted or fulfilling or protecting yourself with the business vehicle that saves you when you were younger, that only gets you to a certain ceiling. That's why you have to have a really real conversation with yourself about how am I primarily driven? Because that might get you to $500,000 or $100K a year. I'm making money, I'm safe, I've healed that part of myself. But to get rich, sharks don't give a fuck how you were raised. They don't give a fuck. They'll smell insecurity and they'll chop your head off. I couldn't pass $1 million.
They smell blood in the water.
They can smell blood, bro. I was stuck at under $1 million a year because I'd healed a lot of my traumas. I'd done the personal development. I'd read the hundreds of books. I watched the videos. I did the sound healing. I did the NLP. I paid the coaches, but I couldn't make $1 million. I had to literally elevate my thinking to be like, wait, hold on. What do you actually want and how much does it cost? $1 million a month profit. Got it. When I got super clear, within 2 years, we did $1 million.
So how did you elevate your thinking?
So the first thing you need to do is use a vehicle, and it may or may not be videography, photography. You need to find out what vehicle pushes you furthest away or heals that pain that you felt when you were in year 7.
Well, obviously the podcast.
Okay, but great. But like, it might be the podcast, but what is the podcast doing? It's using content to unify people.
Yeah.
Right? You get to meet me, you get to come to the crib, you get to meet Pranav, you get to meet him. Content allows you to be able to go into different clubs. What I'm saying is that will get to a certain ceiling. I would figure out, okay, what in year 7 made me want to feel accepted? Was it just because I was rejected? Was it the way I was raised? Those private kids have certain access to things that I didn't have access to. If you notice, a billionaire, 70% of them, they haven't inherited it. 30% of them are self-made because of extreme insecurity. A lot of them were beat up in high school. So for a lot of them, yes, at a certain level, it's I wanted to feel accepted. Some of them, it's I want to make sure I can survive.
Yeah. That's a huge pusher as well. Survival.
Primal.
Very
Logical only gets you to a certain level of money. Primal instincts. People love coming on Kusar. Let's be honest. The girls see other hot girls. I want to go where the hot girls are. The guys see other girls. I want to be on the dating show. Smart people that think they're good at talking politics see other smart people that were talking politics. At a primal level, their status is threatened. So primal shit is what makes you rich. But logical stuff will get you to a couple $100,000. That's why most people in Australia, only 4% of people make over $1 million a year. Because most people don't have a good enough understanding of primal incentive. They don't. They think they do, but they don't.
That's why there's no balance. You have to be fucking obsessed, bro. The first thing I do as soon as I wake up in the morning, before I used to do prayer, journaling, etc., now it's gone bad for myself personally. I wake up in the morning, first thing I do, I check my phone and I check stocks. I start the day just looking at money, bro. And then I smoke a cigarette, I'm replying to clients. Literally, taking a shit, putting in trades. And then by the time I've done a shower, stop losses hit.
It's a great office.
Bro, it's exactly, bro, like if you think, you know what I mean? But to me, it's like, because for me, one of my primal instincts, it's not freedom, it's power. Right? For me, it's
That's
power.
how real you have to be with yourself.
It's power, because I was powerless.
That's how real you have to be, yes.
I was powerless as a kid, right? So to me, it's power. I like the fact that I can go out at night. Yesterday, bro, I think I spent, I'm not trying to flex or anything, yeah? Like I
No, bro, you've worked hard.
Yeah, I spent like 2 bags yesterday, bro. Like, and how I was at the club and one of my friends was there, the homie with the chat a bit, and we were 3 dudes and he just bought a table.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, this motherfucker's buying a table.
And that was, that power threatened your status.
So when are we going out?
Huh? Now just shouting rounds and shots and rounds and shots.
Can I quickly get in there?
You know?
Like, coming from someone that's a bit of a younger entrepreneur on his journey, the level of difference I can just see by the way you guys are talking, the way you guys are thinking, it's like truly inspiring. You know, there's so much.
Let's get it, man. Let's get to work.
It's genuinely insane.
I'll give you an air shake, all right? It's a love there, but yes, continue, Naami.
No, given me like 15 pages of journal to do, bro. Like, I've got so much of it.
Naami's going to rewatch this episode again and again. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to clip it so they can watch it again and again. It's going to be everywhere. All right. And what I want to tie this into now is to the next one. Is it just all ties in anyway. Everything ties in, as you can see. How do you create a brand that people become emotionally attached to? So let's go for things. For instance, I want to start a clothing brand, right? A lot of people have started clothing brands. A lot of people have started their own fragrances. A few people have started their own alcohol, right? Now, the thing is, anyone can create a brand. Anyone can create it. But why people buy from you is your story. what you stand for.
Completely agree.
You're like the Black Mamba, right?
Yeah.
Your identity.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, Dami, how do you start that? How do you create that?
Starts with identity. Like, you can't fake. Well, you can because of social media, but faking an identity only gets you so far because authenticity is the highest frequency. So, for example, if I'm on a Zoom call with, if I'm on a Zoom call with you, right? Actually, I talked about this on Friday because I talked about something called zygomatic facial expressions. Basically, to like distill it, it's where if you repeat certain emotions, your face starts to show condensed versions of those emotions permanently.
Example?
Sure. So, like, say, touch wood. Say like I had, actually, let me actually touch wood. My life's actually been a bit, I've had a bit of a crazy life.
I always
But
say
let's-
touch wood and I just touch like foam. Anyway, continue.
So say like I incurred more loss in my life rapidly. My eyes would naturally be more baggy because I would have cried more. So if I was crying for 3 months straight, my eyes will naturally develop bigger black bags under my eyes, right? Because I've been repeating the facial muscles of crying so much, right? Now let's talk about it in a positive light. If I start my day, as I'm Christian, right? If I start my day praying, meditating, even if the day has gone bad, even if my staff left me, whatever, I'm practicing such mindfulness and clarity that even when, because the mind is also a muscle. So whatever you practice, you become. So I'm practicing such levels of positivity and resourcefulness that even when I lost a certain amount of money because I got hacked a couple of weeks ago, I almost didn't flinch. Like, and that's not to sound cool. And it's like, yeah, it happens. And my head of finance was like, bro, like the Amex got hacked. Bro, the other cards got hacked. He's like, bro, he was calling me 10 times from the Philippines. I was like, bro, it's all good. Like, and I wasn't trying to be cool. I was just like, the odds are we're going to figure it out anyway. And by Monday, like, we're going to be all good. But that was from 7 years of my brain muscle just being resourceful, right? So yeah, it's very important to make sure that you practice the right repeated behaviors. Otherwise, you're going to become a victim of behaviors that someone else has instilled into you. And that can be media. That can be your boss. We've all had crazy bosses where they want to, because again, it's unfortunate. The average CEO has a mix of higher dark triad traits: sociopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism. Machiavellianism is like the ability to like switch faces a lot. Like, I'm happy, I'm sad. Like, we've had hyper manipulative bosses before. So
That's me.
That's
Switch
you.
faces all the time.
I can tell, bro.
My mood goes like up and down, up, down.
But you know what's,
I don't know.
even though like you're half joking, half not, you know what? That's also shows self-awareness, bro. Because you got to know your dark side, bro. So you can control it, have it on a leash. Otherwise, it will run you when you feel threatened. If you feel like a year 7 again, you now that shit's on the leash. That shit runs you. And it's not till the end of the night, at the end of the week, you're like, fuck. Another week gone because you were just run by that shit that you hadn't put on a leash. You know? So for you, that's power. For me, it's freedom. I know that sometimes I'm just naturally like, what I used to do when I was early 20s, I would just go on like long walks around the city at 2, 3, 4 a.m. because my overly sometimes narcissistic brain was like, oh, look, I'll talk my way out of it. Because I've talked my way out of very dangerous situations before. I have, in different countries, in different near-death situations. So I know that I can do it. Doesn't mean I should always do it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put myself on a leash, you know?
Plans, bro. Sunday plans.
Yeah, bro.
City, you get threatened by some gangsters talking about.
Bro, but for real though, bro. You know, because I just know I can talk my way out of it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I should, you know? So you gotta know yourself. And that's what builds, tie back to your thing, to build a brand. If you have a really strong identity, that overrides someone else's identity. It's a bit fucked up, but that's real dynamics. So for example, if I have a weak identity and I'm like, oh, I'm Dami and, you know, I don't really know what I do, but I can just say I'm Dami. It's identity. That outweighs whatever accolades if someone has made more money than me, if they've got a marriage, but if they're like trying to convey that they have all these things, like, why are you trying to convey so much? You're trying to project an identity. I am my identity.
So
That's why Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He said, I am. That's enough. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, hey, I loved it.
Yeah.
But do you think authenticity is the new luxury these days for a brand?
Honestly, no. That's
Why?
actually a bit nuanced. Because, and we're all marketers here, unfortunately, at least to like sell a business, if the marketing is good enough, and this is where you have to be a bit careful, because for a personal brand, yeah, authenticity is the new luxury. But for a product, a lot of products aren't fucking like authentic. They're drop shipped. I got a lot of friends that make 100K a day in e-commerce. and they fucking get the shit from China. They don't even like the product they sell. They're just brilliant marketers. But if it's a personal brand, you have to be authentic.
That's what I think. Yeah, if it's a personal brand, you won't be successful if it's not authentic.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't. Yeah, especially if you're starting out.
I completely.
You know, usually the strongest businesses are the ones with the strongest identity.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Identity, like you figured out what you want to become. How do you actually ground that identity into yourself to just be like, whenever you're faced with that year 7 version of yourself, you can just be like, I am.
I use affirmations. I have a list of affirmations that I've been saying the same affirmations for the last year and a half now. And every time I feel fear, every time I feel doubt, every time I feel like shit's not going the way it should, I repeat my entire list of affirmations. I've said it so many times that like I know the entire thing by heart.
Nice.
And I also linked it to visuals. So within the affirmation, I have a section which is for visualization, and I force myself to feel how that version of myself would feel. For example, like, rather than visualizing myself in Sapporo. Sapporo is a city in Japan, inside the presidential suite. I'm standing there having a sip of whiskey, right? So instead of me like actually just seeing it, I'm trying to ask myself, how would I be feeling if I was there? And so that is how it's gonna like break the loop, because you'll always loop, bro. And everything is always so fucking cyclical. It's nuts, man. Like it's so cyclical, right? But you wanna make sure that your spiral is upwards, you know? So you will always spiral, but you have to spiral upwards, and everything goes in seasons and cycles. So for example, last season for me it was just work. I didn't gym, I didn't do anything, unhealthy obsession with just work. But now it's like I'm working a little bit less, I'm going on a bit more, I'm seeing more people, and I'm hitting the gym. So this season is that, but it's just off of what I'm observing. That makes sense, bro.
I really like what you said there, and I would like to share with you guys.
Please, bro.
What one of my friends told me, and it actually has to do with, you know how New Year's comes around, everyone has a New Year's resolution and no one fucking sticks to it, right? But it's just like, I'm like, man, Faraz, tell me what you do. And it's just like, exactly with the identity stuff. It's like, 2026, I'm not gonna lose a bunch of weight. 2026 is the year for us of health.
Nice. Yeah.
2026 is the year of health, and it goes through those seasons, and it just break it down into even weeks. Like, this is the week of focus, and that's it. That's your identity for right there. You know, this week you're fucking turned on. Anything else, leave it. Next week, this is the season of fun. Let's go enjoy it, you know? Like that also creates a loop where you're allowed to enjoy yourself guilt-free. Because, you know, a lot of business owners are like, oh man, I shouldn't be having a cigarette right now. I shouldn't be going out partying. I need to get work done. You're not even enjoying yourself at that point, you know?
Yeah.
So give yourself permission to do fun things in life as well.
Yes.
As long as you're getting the work done.
Yeah.
So my question is, why are people addicted to certain brands? Is it their story? Is it their identity? Is it their marketing? Is it all of the above?
Yeah, I think it's all the above. I think it's understanding tribal dynamics. So there's something called groups of, I think it's 1 or 300, Dunbar's number. And basically it's a concept where we're all evolved as humans to only really create deep relationships with up to like 100 to 300 people in a lifetime. Because that's what our ancestors were used to. So what happens is, I think really, really good brands, they have a very, very good understanding of what would have been someone's Dunbar's number. So for example, say you're Nike, and they know that a lot of people that like sports, like when Nike was first landing the deal with Michael Jordan, and you can read about this actually in a book called Shoe Dog. Anyway, basically they're like, okay, Michael Jordan, eventually Serena Williams, like key people, because in their group of 150 people, it was only, psychologically speaking, it would be Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, and maybe a few other people. So once you've gotten those ones, it's almost like, hey, I'm part of your family. I get you. These runners are made for you. You're a winner. I'm a psychopathic athlete just like you. Buy my shoes. So that really deep understanding of what people compare themselves to from a mimetic standpoint. Mimetic just means humans copying other humans. I think that's how you really crush, like creating an addictive feeling of understanding. Even if you look at like, love him or hate him, like Tate, like he would just go on podcasts with the Nelk Boys. Everyone, like if you're a man under 40, you've probably seen a Nelk Boys prank in the last 15 years, right? And then he went on your certain associations that you make break really tough ties with your brand. And I think if you can nail that Dunbar association, it's really hard to not win.
So are these products, are they selling a product or a lifestyle?
I think they're selling a feeling. And a feeling is usually an effect of a lifestyle. So if I'm living on the beach in Bali, once I'm lying down and drinking a pina colada, I feel relaxed, like hypothetically speaking. But just because I'm on a beach in Bali, if I haven't conveyed that it's relaxing, then it's just a lifestyle that's still stressful. But it's the feeling I'm attaching to that lifestyle, right? So what we did with Kwasar, when we did the button after dark, like the darker tones, the vibe was sexier, more vibey. But what we did 3 years ago, which still did decent views, 20, 30, 50K views, was more kind of like McDonald's run. Like quick buzz off, but the feeling was cheap, but it worked. It was tacky. It's like when you go to a certain club and you're like, you know what? If I go to this club, I know I'm only going to be there for an hour. But like you're going to that club for that feeling of, okay, I want to get pre-hyped to go to this club. It's the feeling, in my opinion.
Well, I'll put the link with Kwasar down so they can check it out, but also I can, because I can't wait to watch it. Yeah, I'm so sorry I missed it.
That's all good.
But it feels like it would have been good. So
Hey, ask.
I did. Yeah, we had a chat. But yeah, no, you're actually right. Yeah, it's the feeling for that lifestyle that they sell. You know, it's not just the product. I mean, you can't just have a fragrance and just put it here and say smells nice. No, you need to have.
It's your girlfriend coming up to you, hugging. Baby, you smell so good. Why do you smell so good? Why are you so strong? Now you feel strong. You feel sexy.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's what's called the mise en scène. So in videography, there's something called mise. So it's MIS, then EN. It's like a French word. Basically, it's the background. The background gives context, not the actual words. It's same with closing a sale. It's everything that's sub-communicated. It's how your brain is emotionally feeling that's going to give you the ability to justify the logic. If you just go for buy this, you're not hitting any primal, emotional, mimetic desires. You need to hit desire. Desires a feeling.
This is how Trump.
Yeah.
This is how Trump won the elections.
Big time. Yeah. Kamala actually is more professional, quote unquote, speaking than Trump. But Trump, what did he spoke at a 10th grade level. Make America great again. Well, I don't even remember what Kamala said. Exactly. Actually, look, it's funny. People think like I'm not like I actually respect her, but she didn't like emotionally. Just because you got Meg Thee Stallion to twerk for you, like that doesn't emotionally like hit me. Like I get it, Black Power, but like
she's not even black.
Oh, bro. I think
she's Indian. No,
I think she's a quarter black.
She is.
Yeah, I think she's a quarter.
But she keeps switching,
She's a code switcher.
Yeah, exactly. Bro.
Which is Trump is a D1 code switcher too. Let's be for real.
MAGA, bro.
He's Israeli. That's a different topic. Anyway, so but yeah, like he just sold a feel. Then he did his little dance. That's what's called an associative anchor. So like when we watch television programs, we see like the intro to like have you guys seen H2O adjusted water when you're growing up? No.
H2O.
H2O adjusted water. No. Okay, Hannah Montana. Easy one. Hannah Montana, bro.
No.
Miley Cyrus.
No, I know it. I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
Yeah.
Damn.
I would admit I watched it.
Okay, SpongeBob.
Yeah, I love SpongeBob.
Okay, we watched SpongeBob. And then you ready, kids? That's an associative anchor. Because it's telling your brain, this is time for me to tune in. Right? So how you hook people to make them addicted is you have to have multiple...
Money. Huh? Money.
There you go. That's another associative
Mr. Krabs.
That's another associative anchor. Money. That's another anchor. Right? So like the more anchors you have, the easier it is to get someone addicted. So in NLP, for example, if I'm trying to make Pranav laugh and I tickle him, and every time he laughs, I tickle him, I touch him, what will happen is even a year from now, if I touch him and he's not in a happy mood, he will laugh. This is deep psychology though. Like be careful with this. Like
subconsciously conditioning people.
Correct. So it's the same with any kind of brand, right? And I'm telling you this because I have friends that do literally 40, 50 million a year, right? It's the same shit. When I'm closing a deal, I start the call with, I'm super relaxed, even keeled.
What kind of call is this?
Like a sales call for like my marketing.
No, just how you started it.
How does that? You want me to do like a fake role play?
No.
Okay.
Hey, no. How you started it before was like, okay, now we're here after dark.
After dark, the
Yo, with
after
the black
dark.
chocolate, Dami.
You're very flirty, man. He's making me feel something right now. He's got the superpower, you know.
My product's behind me, so I'll get that
good,
later.
guys.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, continue.
No, that's it, man. It's when you can master tribal understanding with associative anchors, even with the button. Literally at the start, we do. You know that song "Destination None"?
Love it. Dude.
We have that for the whole button series, and that with limit. And I'm not like, there's a lot of skill. Like we have an awesome team, but that series, the last time we did it, got like 20, 30, 40, 50K views per video. And I'm not a professional director, but we just understood associative anchor. So I don't care how bad the episode is, if it's 1 minute, 15 minutes, your season's gonna have the same start. And then we're just gonna transition to After Dark. And it's the same music though. The same thing.
So Dami, I want to ask you about algorithms. Yeah. Do they reward emotion?
They reward extremity and mental illness. Extremity in either direction.
Example.
So, for example, if you guys heard of the Wizard Liz, they call her like the female version of Tate. I disagree a little bit with that, but basically, we all know Tate. We've literally heard him say, "Yeah, I say things and I add hyperbole to them. I'm exaggerating."
Of course.
It's rewarded on the algorithm when you say something exaggerated.
And why?
Well, because anytime you're trying to tap into a tribalistic thing, people don't want you on the fence. So, for example, when people say I'm left wing or I'm right wing, a lot of people are in the middle. But because we're tribal by nature, for example, if I say I'm black people are like, oh, Dami's pro-black. But if I say, fuck Black Lives Matter, fuck Dami. Dami doesn't care about black. But wait, hold on. When I'm talking about BLM, like the business of it, because I'm human first, not black. But if you say I'm a black redhead from West Melbourne, like it's like I've now gotten into a tribe that they can now associate with. So with social media, if I'm saying something extreme, I'm making it very easy to identify with the tribe. That's why.
So you were asking why. Did you mean why isn't also like why does the algorithm push it up?
Yeah, that's right.
Money, bro.
So that's a good answer.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is we're the customers. We the more we use it, the more data they have on what we use, and the more they can sell our data to marketing companies. So just speaking in that sense, what happens is when you watch a video that angers you, that makes you really happy or really sad, you stay on the platform longer. So because of that, the algorithm pushes out videos that make you stay on the algorithm, but it just happens to be that those videos are just extreme.
So how do you manipulate the algorithm into boosting the numbers?
Boosting the numbers, you could run ads. Easiest one is like number one. Number two is like hooks, man. And what I mean by that is visual hooks and audio hooks. So there's this clothing brand called Wants and Needs.
Oh my goodness.
You know? Yeah. They're
Oh, they are killing it. I always get baited. I always get baited.
Exactly. That's
I always get hooked, rather. I should have said hooked.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
I get hooked on Exceed streetwear, so I haven't heard that one.
You should check it out. I'll send it to you after, man. But yeah, like just hooks. That's how you manipulate the algorithm. Another way to manipulate the algorithm is also to what's that word called, man? Piss people off. Rage bait.
Rage bait.
Rage bait. I love that.
Yeah. And we had a guest on here last episode. He was a rage baiter guru, genius.
Dude,
You got to check him out. Yeah,
You know,
he's done really well for himself.
Meet him in real life, most genuine person you're ever gonna meet. Like such a nice person. I
He
feel like
understands tribal psychology.
He does, yeah, absolutely. But also a humble person as well. But also, like, he started, with that rage baiting, and then now he wants to, pump into music like how he wanted to before.
I think he's done it in a really smart way. Like he knew what his end goal was. He wants to be a musician. Okay, if people have to hate me for a little bit for me to get 6.5 million followers, and then I can do music after that, everyone's gonna forget because how good my music is.
I think we need to get Dami and Teo on the couch, on the same couch. Do you reckon relationships can survive extreme ambition?
I think it's an easy answer. I think, it just depends on the person, because it depends on how. So most people when they are dating someone, we tend to date within a standard deviation above or below our IQ. So for example, if you're dumb, you're probably going to date someone that's and when I say that, I'm talking like long-term dating. I'm not talking that short, just to specify. So like what happens is you probably date someone that's a bit smarter or a bit dumber than you. Like this can be the person that you're married to, right? So why do I mention that? When it comes to like long-term like mating, marriage, kids, etc., for you to be able to like have extreme tendencies, they probably also have extreme tendencies too. You just might not see them yet, right? Sometimes there's the same when men get married, their wives want them to, change, and when women get married, the men want them to stay the same how they met them. That's like the same, right? But usually what happens is over time, the real patterns, once the gloss is gone, those are the patterns that persist. So you can date someone that has extreme ambition if you are extremely ambitious, because you're probably somewhat of a match, right? But also
Because you know how they feel.
well, it's not even that you know how they feel. It's just like there's brain patterns that you both are sharing together. So for example, if someone's like Jake Paul,
That's hot.
isn't it? So Jake Paul, him and his girlfriend, right? Jake Paul is obviously he's a professional rage baiter as well.
Did you see his supercar video?
I did.
Yeah?
Bro, I actually really respect Jake Paul.
No, I do too. I think
Yeah,
it was really
bro.
cool how he did it, but also how his new product,
Yeah.
and he put that blimp in the sky,
Dude,
and
that's gangster.
Oh, that's crazy.
Also, his wife is like an Olympic skier or something
Yeah,
like
skier.
that.
Yeah.
And they're like a power. So like they're both very extreme, but in like different ways. But their brains use the same patterns. So I don't think it's as uncommon as people think. As long as you understand that, as long as you are aware that you're usually attracting what you are. And if you're happy with that, then great. If you're not, then that probably means you have to change something.
But not everyone can handle your evolution too.
That's
of
true.
How you are.